Okay, right. Thanks everybody for the feedback you gave last week in regards to doing desktop drawings, and I appreciate that. I've taken that on board, and I've also just really been looking into some software that I'm using as well. It's called OBS, if you want to get hold of it. It does take a bit of configuring, so you might need to be a little bit patient with it, and above all, read all the instructions. Don't do what I did, which was ignore them for 3 hours last night and woke up this morning and saw the line I should have read in the first place. So that's worth doing. In regards to the background, I've just got a green screen here. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, you see. So I can hide all my books and stuff, stop people asking questions about what I'm reading, all that rubbish. Yeah, I can. This can then just be taken into some other software like iMovie, which is on the Mac. On the PC, I'm sure you'll find something, and it's not that I'm against PCs or Mac. I just found I've been using Macs since 1986. Yes, I am that old for the younger ones on board. And so this is just an explanation really of why sometimes people get damp. It's always controversial, this word, coming up the side of the behind the plasterboard. Sorry, behind the plasterboard, yes, and sometimes behind the skirting boards. And it can happen when a floor slab is being replaced, which is a concrete floor slab. And you know, people have said, oh, you know, we've had a new floor in there, let me just check the filter on this. I've got an ND filter on the camera, by the way, so I'll take some photographs so you can look up the setup. I think it's cost me, I don't know, around about £1,500 for everything that I've got. Excuse me, I got something in my eye, but I haven't done this all in one go. So I've got the camera, then I've got the mic, then I've got the light, which is over there, but I still need another light. Then I've got the zoom lens on the camera as well, which you can just about see, which is over here, right? No, it's over there, isn't it? Anyway, you know what I mean, it's over here. Is it that hand? That's it. So I'm gonna have to look at that as well, because everything's back to front, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. That's no big deal. And then I've got an ND filter on the camera as well, which you can see here, which basically you can just alter the contrast a little bit, so you can make it lighter, or you can go darker with it as well. So you know, I've still got to check the camera settings and work on the white balance and things like that, but I think I'm there. And then there's a little bit of mixing to do in regards to some of the software, as you can just rub it out. I'll have to remember to get a decent eraser as well, or rubber as they call them in America, or eraser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my mortar joint here, which is the joint in the brickwork. We also, on the outside, I'm going to use some coloured pencils, so you know, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, there we go. So you can see that. There you go. A bit more detail there for you. This is going to be the ground level on the outside. Okay. This represents the... Oh, that's going well. Okay, I'll tell you what this is, right? So this line here represents the sand lining, and this bit here is all the soil, which is usually under the building anyway. So let me just zoom in a little bit. So I think that's it. So what we then have is a insulation under the floor, and then you have your concrete slab, which would come in here, usually a bit thicker than that. Sorry, I've gone off the line again a little bit. This is what's known as a break line in technical drawing, and this is what's known as a break line. It means I'm not going to put any more detail in there. So obviously you'd have all your different courses from all your different from your brick as you go lower down. So I'll put those in, and I should stick to the lines really, because that's what they're there for, that's what the grid's for. So you can see it does help if you do use it. As I do more and more drawings, I will get more proficient with this, and it'll look a lot more professional. Right, so, and then the last thing that you have on here is your finished floor level. So that's on the inside. I think I'll put another course up here so I can move this a little bit higher, so you can see that a little bit better. Let me just check on the detail. Yeah, so you can still see that, so that's brilliant. Okay, so I've got some different colored pens here, so hopefully that should highlight it for you a little bit more. So yeah, brown. Soil is usually brown, isn't it, or black, whatever it is. So we'll put that in there, right? So that's your subsoil. Okay, this here is your foundation, or your footing. Okay, Then what you have is, like I said there, that's your blinding, that's your sand that goes down, usually yellow, isn't it, something like that. So I'll put that in a yellow for you so you can make that out a little bit. Okay, then you have your insulation, which we'll do as a green, I think, something like that. So I'm not sure if that's the hatching for it, so I'll check all of these because I'm sure somebody will come back to me and say it's not the correct hatching. I used to know it, but you know, over time you just lose it, don't you? So that is the concrete slab going in there, so that represents the concrete slab going in, and blah blah blah. You get the idea. And then the next bit is going to be your finished floor. So it could be floorboards, so we'll do that. I'm not going to put the tongs and everything else, or it could be laminate flooring, something else. So the main problem is when they put a damp proof membrane in, DPC, right, DPM, sorry, not a DPC, that's the DPC there, damp proof course, and that is a damp proof membrane. It's usually made from a material called visqueen. Anyway, people, some contractors, when they run it down the wall there, and also when you've got your slab abutting to the wall there, it's a posh word apparently, it should come down here all the way under, and then you stop, the visqueen should go underneath the insulation and above the sand. Okay, so that's blinding sand so that this doesn't get punctured. What I found that people don't do is this should be returned into the course of the brickwork there to stop any moisture coming past here and going in. Now you might say it'll go around there, but obviously this damp proof membrane goes all the way through. So the further you can get it through, the better, and that way it should stop any problems coming through. On the outside there you have your damp proof course. This should be at least from ground level to where the damp proof course is. All right, it should be at least 6 inches in old money, or 150 millimeters. Okay, so that way if it rains you're not going to get rainwater bouncing up, and usually it doesn't. And if you do get a bit that bounces over there, obviously it's going to dry off, and obviously if the cavity is clear, you shouldn't get any problems. But if the cavity is full, because sometimes when they're building these they'll fill the cavity with what they call snots, which is basically when the cement is when they're using the mortar to build the wall, sometimes you'll get cement dropping down there. So that is what you have to ensure doesn't happen. Sometimes if you look into the cavity you can see all of this build up here, and that's what's causing moisture to migrate through the wall. So sometimes you will get moisture going through this wall, okay, hitting all this stuff in here and coming out here. So if you look on the inside, what you would have now, okay, is you have your plaster which comes down to there. So you got your bonding plaster, and then you've got your finishing plaster, and then usually they'll put the skirting board round, and that comes down and sits on the floor like that. So that would be your skirting board with a little bit of gap behind there. So that's how it should look. That's a timber section, by the way, or something like that. So looking at it in plan, let me just try my pencil so I don't make a mess of this. You can still see that area there. The plan is looking at it from the top, okay? So if you look at it from the top, that's your outer skin of brickwork again. This is your inner skin of brickwork. Oh, this is working so well. And then this area here, break line again. What they should do is when they bring the visqueen up, this is a dotted line, so that represents how far the visqueen should go in. If you can get it further, then that's fine. I'm showing it halfway through. Bearing in mind this is not 100% correct because I haven't checked this for a while, but I will go back and do it. But this is something that we did do. So this is the visqueen, right, and it's coming up, so it's coming up this way now. You're looking from the top, right? That's your brickwork, and that's all your courses and your brickwork, and this is the mortar joints and all of the brickwork here. So like that. Yeah, hope you get that. So this is looking from the top, this is looking from the side. So when they come in here, they will make some kind of joint Hopefully it's a folded joint. Okay, so you won't see that going along there because obviously this is visqueen, so it's going to be fluid, but I'm just going to draw these lines in just for illustration purposes. So as it comes along this way, stick to your lines, Neville, thank you, you will find, and also I'm going to take this bracelet off as well because it's making a banging noise on the table. That should be folded over there, and then this corner here should be pushed in as well and tucked in. So they might have to just grind out the mortar joint a little bit, but it's something that should be done, otherwise you're going to get problems later on. I went to look at the property last week, and if I can go back and take some photographs I will do, and I'll show you the kind of signs that you get when that hasn't been done properly, and it's very hard to find a fix for it. So it's one of these things that you want to ensure gets done properly when you are getting your contractors on site. So the main things to look out for, like I said before, let me just put these away so everything's nice and neat, is from the side you are ensuring that that detail is being taken care of, and I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, that's as far as it'll go. So I'm going to drop the camera down a little bit, but I'm sure you can see that detail anyway. And with YouTube, if you go on the internet, you'll be able to do that. And this is looking from the top here, right? So those two bits of detail, you need to ensure that they're done so that you get what you want and you get a new floor slab that's put in place that is going to give you many, many, many years of joy. So if you like this video, because I'm going to put a clip to this on YouTube, just give it a thumbs up. That will help with the algorithms apparently, and subscribe to the channel. So I'm probably not going to do much trimming with this one because this is one of my first videos. They're going to be shorter than this, so I apologize for the length of this one, but there is a lot of detail that I'm trying to impart on you in regards to the floor slab. So my name is Neville Douglas, and I hope you enjoyed this video.